Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're taking a look at something pretty specific. It's a conceptual framework, a diagnostic category maybe, that's being debated.
Yeah, it's designed to describe how certain ways of thinking about history get, well, locked in.
Exactly. And the term itself, it's a bit of a mouthful, but we think it's important. White racialized cultural selective amnesia.
Right.
Our mission today is basically to unpack the three core bits of that idea, give you a shortcut to understanding what the researchers behind this theory are actually getting at.
And it's crucial to say this isn't just, forgetting things accidentally. The researchers are talking about selective amnesia as a specific cultural process.
A process.
Yeah, where certain memories, usually ones about harm, maybe culpability or systemic issues, they get actively filtered out, sort of pushed aside.
Pushed aside to maintain what? Like a clean image?
Essentially, yes. To keep a cultural self-perception of being morally, well, pure or good.
Okay. Let's dig into that. The sources say it shows up in three main ways, these facets. What's the first one? Does it affect everyone the same way?
So the first facet they describe is called white innocence. And according to this framework, it's seen as particularly prominent among white women.
White innocence, what does that entail?
It's characterized by this almost intense focus on moral cleanliness, on inherent goodness, purity, relating to one's own group history or culture.
Then the function of that?
The theory suggests it provides the emotional groundwork, that need to feel morally clean. It sort of justifies the mental gymnastics that might come later.
Okay, so innocence as the emotional base. Then the research points to a second facet, more cognitive maybe, often linked more to white men in this framework.
That's right. This is the over-intellectualization piece. Aggressive rationalization, you could call it.
How does that look in practice? Any examples?
Well, the classic example cited is historical revisionism. So events like colonialism, instead of acknowledging the exploitation, the narrative shifts. It gets reframed as, say, a gift bestowed on oppressed nations.
A gift? Wow.
Yeah. And the focus zooms in on, like, technical things, trains being built, infrastructure, that kind of stuff, while completely ignoring or downplaying the harm done, populations decimated, resources taken.
So the mechanism, the building, is highlighted over the actual human impact.
Precisely. The how over what happened to people.
Okay, so connecting those dots, we have the emotional need for purity, that's facet one. Then the intellectual justification, the rationalizing, facet two, which leads straight into the third facet, the big payoff maybe, where instead of seeing any historical link to, say, the slave trade or white supremacy.
Exactly. The focus shifts entirely. It centers on positive contributions.
Yeah.
Things like human rights movements, aid programs, giving back.
Giving back freedom, even.
Right. The narrative becomes one where freedom or progress was sort of benevolently offered, a gift from the dominant group rather than something fought for, often against huge resistance.
That raises a really interesting point about timing. When does this kind of framing tend to pop up most noticeably, according to the sources?
Well, the researchers often point to commemorative times. Black History Month is mentioned specifically.
How so?
They observe that sometimes certain white organizations, maybe even ones with histories tied to resisting black advancement, they'll frame black success or even survival within their institution as proof of their own benevolence.
So look how welcoming we are now, rather than look what was achieved despite our history.
That's the core of the reframing argument presented in the sources, yes. The argument is that these achievements often exist in spite of the historical resistance, not because of some newfound institutional generosity.
So the call is to shift the focus.
The reframing suggested advocates for centering the story on, quote, an end to black harm, and seeing achievements as proof of resilience, of tenacity within the community itself.
Not as a medal for the institution that might have caused the harm initially.
Exactly. It's about acknowledging where the agency and, frankly, the credit truly belongs.
So, thinking about this framework, what does it mean for you listening to this? It seems the bigger issue here is how easily narratives can be well managed, rationalized.
Yeah, to maintain a comfortable view of the present by selectively editing the past. Whether that's conscious or unconscious, the framework offers a lens to see how that might happen.
How that self-perception of moral goodness is protected. Okay, so we'll leave you with this to think about. When you hear stories about historical achievements, especially overcoming adversity or resistance from institutions, pause for a second.
Yeah, ask yourself, is this story being framed as a gift that was granted by the institution?
Or is it being framed as a testament to incredible resilience and survival against that institution's history? Which framework are you absorbing those stories through?
Something to definitely chew on.